When the yarn meets the hook, it becomes more than just a look. Every scarf, every bag, every warm embrace carries love from.
Hello, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bia Crochet, and in today's tutorial we are learning how to make this cute and simple romper. Very cute and simple romper. It's an alternate romper, and this is for a small medium. So a small size can wear this and a medium size can also wear this. So for the materials of this romper, you'll be needing your balls of yarn. You'll be needing like 8 balls of yarn for this romper. Your hook size of, you can use between 3.5 to 4.25, but I'm using a 4.25 hook size. You'll be needing measuring tape, scissors, and 2 stitch markers. This is optional. If you don't have a stitch marker, you can improvise by using another yarn of a different color. So this is all you'll be needing for this tutorial. So if this is what you are interested in learning how to make, please stay to the end of the class and let's get right into class. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a slip knot. Then make a chain of 24. So I'm going to make a chain of 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have my chain of 24, and this is going to be covering from neck to neck. So 6.5 inches. I'm going to make extra chain of 2. 1, 2. I'm going to skip the last chain I made and make 1 double crochet into the third chain. So I'm going to skip 1 and 2 and into the third chain, going with 1 double crochet. One double crochet into every stitch. To make the double crochet, yarn over, go into the third stitch, pull up, put through 2, put through 2, yarn over, go in, pull up, put through 2, put through 2, yarn over, go in, pull up, put through 2, put through 2. So go into every stitch with 1 double crochet, and in total you still have 24 stitches. I already have my double crochet into every stitch, including the last stitch, and I have a total of 24 stitches, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and I have a total of 24 stitches. So the next thing is to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, turn into the same stitch. Your chain 3 does not count as a stitch, so into the same stitch, going with 2 double crochets. So 2 double crochet into the same stitch. Into every other stitches, going with 1 double crochet each. Into the last stitch, you also carry 2 double crochets. So the first stitch 2 double crochet, the last stitch 2 double crochet, but every other stitch is 1 double crochet each. Chain 2, turn into the same stitch, 2 double crochets. Into every other stitches, 1 double crochet each, onto the last stitch again. So you're going to continue increasing on your stitches and on your rows until 14 rows. Into the same stitch. So now this is going to continue increasing. You're going to continue increasing on the first and the last stitch. So we'll meet up once I have my desired rows, or I'll let you know when I have my desired row. So I have 14 rows here and 13 inches. So now I'm going to make an extension that's going to be long enough to have my bust to bust measurement. So I'm working on bust to bust measurements. I'm going to make an extension that's going to be long enough to my bust to bust measurement. So I'm working on 20 inches as the bust to bust measurement. So right now I'm going to make an inches of 20. I'm going to extend this to 20 inches. So I have 7 inches to get to 20 inches. So which means I'm going to make a chain of 3.5 inches on this side and also 3.5 inches on this side to get to 20 inches. So I'm going to make a chain of 13. So I'm going to chain 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So take measurements. So now this is 3.5 inches. I'm also going to repeat the same here. I'm making a chain of 13. So I already have my chain of 13. I'm just going to make extra chain of 1, then cut, press down. So after my chain of 13 here, I'm going to make extra chain of 2. 1, 2. Skip the last 2, which is 1, 2, and into the third, going with 1 double crochet each. So now I'm going to stop increasing. It's just going to be 1 double crochet into every stitch. I'm going to have 1 double crochet into other stitches, into every other stitches, 1 double crochet each. So there is no more increase, so it's just going to be 1 double crochet each onto the last stitch, and you're going to repeat this for a total of 15 inches. So 1 double crochet into every of the stitches, into my chain also. So right now this is what I'm having, so I'm just going to take measurements. So right now I already have my 20 inches, which can stretch up to 23 inches. So from this point, I'm going to continue having 1 double crochet into the first stitch and the last stitch, and also into the middle stitches. So no more increase, no more decrease, just 1 double crochet into every stitch until 15 inches. So 1 double crochet into every stitch until the last stitch. So right now I'm having 7.75 inches, but I'm going to continue until 15 inches. So we'll meet up. So I'm done with my length and I have 15 inches. So this is 15 inches here. And the next thing is to fold to add the waist measurement. This is still 20 inches. This is still 20 inches. So I'm working on 28 inches as the waist measurement, and I have 20 inches. I'm going to minus 3 inches away from the 28, and I'll have 25 inches. So whatever waist measurement you're working on, minus 3 inches away from it. So now I have 25 inches. But right now here I have 20 inches. So I'm going to make extra chain of 5 inches to get to 25 inches. So whatever you have now, add to it, then minus 3 inches away from the original waist measurement you're working on. So I'm going to be making a chain of 15. So I'm going to chain 15. I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now that I have my chain of 15, I'm going to join to this. So the lower stitch here, you're going to connect together, chain 1. So right now I should have 25 inches. So right now I'm already having 25 inches, which is 12.5 inches on fold. So like I said, whatever measurement you're working on, minus 3 inches away from the original waist measurement you're working on, and add to what you have to get to that point. So I have 20 inches. I have 20 inches and I'm working on 28 inches as the original waist measurement. So I minus 3 inches away from it to get to 25, and I added from 20 to meet 25 inches. So right now, from this point now, I'm going to go one double crochet into every stitch until I get to the last point. So chain 2, I already have chain 1, chain extra 1 to get to chain 2. Then into the same stitch, I'm going to have my first double crochet. Then into every chain, going with one double crochet. So I'm going to go one double crochet into the chain. So I'm going to go one double crochet into every stitch round. No increase, no decrease, just one double crochet round until I'm back to the beginning point, which is here. Place my double crochet into the last stitch here because I skipped the first stitch. Because I skipped the first stitch, I'm going to place my double crochet into the last stitch. So slip stitch, chain 2, then take our measurement. So from the first point to the last point is 16 inches, which is from neck to the half length, which is 16 inches. From this point, you're going to start increasing to the hip measurements. So I'm going to get my stitch marker and mark the mid stitches and mark the midpoint for both ends, that's this side and this side. Stitch marker, and on the other side I'm also going to place my stitch marker. So this point here is going to be our increase point. So until we get to the hip measurement, you're going to continue increasing where there is stitch marker. So after your chain 2, you turn. You're going to skip the first stitch, this turning loop here, and place your double crochet into the next stitch. So if you skip here, it means you're going to place your last stitch into this point. But if you place your first stitch into this point, then it means you're going to skip this. Because if you place your first and last stitch into this point and this point, then it means you're increasing. So I'm going to into the next stitch, not this, but into this, going with one double crochet, then one double crochet until I get to my stitch marker. Into where I have my stitch marker, I'm going to place 2 double crochets there. Into the same stitch, 2 double crochet. Then 1 double crochet into other stitches until I get to the next stitch marker. So every other stitches will have 1 double crochet each until I get to the next stitch marker. Also on this point, I'm going to place 2 double crochets. Then 1 double crochet each until you get to the end point. So now this is going to be repetition for this until you get to the hip measurement. Then slip stitch into the top stitch again. Chain 2, turn. Skip this tiny loop and paste your next double crochet into this. So go 1 double crochet until you get to the stitch marker. That's the increase points. So you only be placing your 2 double crochets into the increase points. Every other stitches will carry 1 double crochet, but where you have your stitch marker, which is the increase point, you place 2 double crochets there. Into where I have my 2 double crochets, I'm going to place 2 double crochets there also. So into this point where I have my 2 double crochet, I'm also going to place 2 double crochet. Then 1 double crochet into every other stitches until I get to the next stitch marker again, which is this. Into the point, into this point again, 2 double crochets. So you already know now. So 1 double crochet again until you get to the end point. So you're going to keep repeating this until you get to your hip measurement minus 4 inches. I'm working on 40 inches as the hip measurement. So I'm just going to minus 4 inches away from it, which can slightly stretch to the original hip measurement. So I'm just going to continue this until I get to 36 inches, which is from 40 inches. To continue stretching out until you get to your hip measurement minus 4 inches. So where you have your stitch marker, always remember to place 2 double crochets. So into where you have your 2 double crochet, you're going to continue placing 2 double crochets into it until you get to your hip measurement minus 4 inches. And the moment of once I have my desired measurements, so you're going to continue going and going to continue stretching out. I already have my hip measurement now. So this is 70. So this is 17.5 inches, which is 36 inches. And I have 21 rows to get to this point. So the next thing to do now is to divide the hip points. So I'm going to chain 2, then cut. Tie 2 times, then cut again. So now I'm going to get the midpoints. So all I'm going to do is fold to 2 to get the 8 points. So this is the hip points. But before deciding on that, I'm going to take my measurements. So from this point to this point is 8.5 inches. And from this point to this point is 8 inches. So which means I'm going to, so from this point to this point is 8 inches. Which means from this point here to this point should also be 8 inches. Which means 8 inches on this side and 8 inches on this side. So now I'm going to be dividing the crotch points. So insert your hook. So whatever measurement you are having, divide into 2 and check measurement on both sides to make sure it's equal. They're going to I'm going to make a chain of 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm going to connect to this point to the same stitch marker on the opposite side. Make a slip stitch. Once that is done, I'm going to remove your stitch marker. So now the crotch area is divided. I'm going to chain 2, turn. So you're going to work 1 double crochet into the stitches. 1 double crochet into the 16 chains you made. So I already have my double crochet into the 16 stitches. Now I can continue going around. But at this point, I'm going to stop increasing. So where I used to have my 2 double crochets, I'm going to stop placing 2 double crochets there. So it's just going to be 1 double crochet into every stitch until I'm back to the beginning point again. Into the stitch where I place my 2 double crochets, I'm going to stop placing 2 double crochets there, but just 1 double crochet because I've stopped increasing. So it's just going to be 1 double crochet. We're going to continue going 1 double crochet until I get to the beginning point again. So into this point, I'm going to have 1 double crochet, then slip stitch, chain 2, turn, and continue 1 round of double crochet again. So into the next stitch, not into this stitch but into this, you go in 1 double crochet. So you're going to continue going round and round until you have your length, your total length, or your desired number of rows. So it's going to be 1 double crochet into every stitch. Into the last stitch, 1 double crochet. then slip stitch. So you can continue repeating, going round and round and round until you have your total length. And each tie is measuring 10 inches, which is a total of 40 inches. That's 20 inches on this side, that's and 30, 20 inches on this side. So together you have 40 inches. So continue going round and round and we meet up once I have my desired length. I have a total of 6 rows there, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I'm going to go around with single crochet. So the next is going to be one round of single crochet. Go in directly, pull up, pull through. Go in directly, pull up, pull through. So I'm going to go in with one round of single crochet. My one round of single crochet is going to be the 7th row. Then cut. So the first tie is done, and now we're going to move to the second tie to repeat the same. So for the second tie, I'm going to repeat the same. So one double crochet into all the 16 chains again, all the 16 stitches again. So I'm done with the romper. So I'm done with this. I'm gonna head to tie. I'm just going to cut. So the next thing to do is to secure the edges. So I'm going to go in with one single crochet into all of the stitches or all of the edges. The beginning points, just going to make a chain. Then single crochet into all of the stitches. I'm going to make single crochet into all stitches. So into the corner stitch here, I'm going to skip this and this and slip stitch into the tiny loop. So skip one and this and into the tiny loop, going with a slip stitch. Then continue with one single crochet into the stitches. So one single crochet into the double crochet, one single crochet into the tiny loop. So into this point again, you're going to skip this and walk directly into the tiny loop. So skip this and this into the tiny loop, going with a slip stitch. Then continue with one single crochet into the double crochet, one single crochet into the tiny loop, one single crochet into the double crochet, one single crochet into the tiny loop, chain one, then do a single crochet decrease. So into the stitch, pull up, into the next stitch, pull up. So you have 3 loops, pull through the whole 3, then continue with one single crochet. You're going to do a single crochet decrease again. So pull up into the next pull up. You have to loop, pull through it. So I'm going to continue with one single crochet. So you have last two stitches left. Pull up into the last stitch, pull up again, then pull through, chain one. So now we have a single crochet decrease on this part. Now continue with your single crochet into the double crochet, single crochet into the turning loop, and repeat what you have on this side. You also repeat it here. So I'm done with my one single crochet into all of the stitches. Next thing to do now is to go in with the strap. So I'm going to make a long strap on this part. So into the stitch, I'm going to go in, then go into the single crochet, pull up, and pull up single crochet, slip stitch rather, then make a long chain. So you have this, then make a long chain. So I'm done fixing my strap for both ends, for both edge, and all I'm going to do is transfer to the back to make a crisscross. So I'm going to make a crisscross at the back. Then tie. So now this is done, and our romper is ready. So this is all. You're going to take our measurements. So you're going to take the hip measurements and the total length. So for our hip measurements, I'm having, so this is the measurement for the hip. So the hip measurement is correct, and the total length of our romper is from the beginning point to the end point. So I'm having 32 inches as the total length of the romper, and for the waist measurement, 25 inches as the waist measurement. So yeah, this is all for our romper. So thank you for watching to the end. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next class. Bye.